Today in this video, I want to show you how you can record phone calls with a basic podcasting setup that I showed in a previous video. Stick around. Hey, how's it going? It's the Shan Man, radio broadcaster, podcaster, and podcast producer. And today I want to talk to you about how you can record phone calls from a computer using this basic podcasting setup. Now, if you're watching this right now on YouTube, there is going to actually be a button that is up here. Actually, it's going to slide out, and you're going to be able, I think it should go like this way, but either way, it's going to slide out, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch that previous video and look at the basic podcasting setup that I have created right there in that video. So what I want to show you today is how you can actually record phone calls. Now, some podcasters say, I want to interview someone that is just phone call only or Skype only, and they don't know how to create that setup, okay? So I want to show that to you right here, and it's actually very simple, and what you're going to need is actually just a little bit of equipment if you're using the basic podcasting setup that I created in the previous video, and we can kind of get you on your way with that, okay? You're also going to need Skype, and you're going to need a recording system like Adobe Audition. That's what I'm using here too. So other than that, let's just go ahead and let me show you real quick the equipment that you're going to end up needing. Okay, so the only equipment that you really need, if you watch the previous video, the only other piece of equipment that you're going to need is an extension, this extension that I have right here. And it's actually, this is what it looks like. Where's my camera? There it is. It's just these two smaller jacks. And all you need to do is just get the adapter, okay? And this is where the adapter goes. And now let's go on over to the board, and I'll show you what you can do with this and what you should be doing with this, okay? So I need to make a real quick correction. So when I showed you the wire that you needed, actually what you're going to need is you're going to need a splitter, okay? It's going to be a splitter because on this particular board, you have to plug in from your Mac computer. You have to plug this piece in, all right, into your Mac computer. All right, and then it's going to run the line all the way over here. Now, since we only have one, one side of the stereo jack right here, we need to actually get a splitter, and they do sell these on Amazon. Okay, I'll leave a link in the description for you so you can find them. But in this case, we're just going to assume that this is a splitter, and we're only going to be getting one side of the recording out. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to come in and plug this in, and if you had a second part of the splitter that came from the wire here into here, you would want to plug it in. So you want to plug it into this portion right here, okay? And this is going to be line 5 and 6, okay? So then you come to line 5 and 6 right here, and you want to make sure that you have everything adjusted, your lows, your highs. You want to make sure everything is adjusted and you have the volume. So what is happening here is that the sound that is coming out of your Mac is being fed into the board. All right, one thing you need to really adjust and figure out is the volume that you're going to set here as the output when it goes back into the recording software. Because what you're doing right now is you're feeding audio out into the board, okay? You get it? Then what the board is doing is actually taking the audio that is being fed into here out and back in to your computer's recording software. So you see that it's a big loop. So you're going to want to make sure you have this going in to your lines. Make sure you adjust your level on 5 and 6, and make sure that this is plugged into your computer via USB, okay? Now, another thing that you need to know is that when you're adjusting the volume right here, okay? When you adjust the volume, you also can adjust the output of how loud the volume is going to be from Skype, okay? So what you'll want to do is you want to make sure that your volume is set either really low or really high or to your liking, because that's what is actually being output from here, if that makes sense, okay? So make sure that you adjust the volume here, and you're adjusting the volumes right here, okay? That's what you need to do. Next, you need to make sure that your settings are still the same inside of Adobe Audition. So your preferences are still going to be going to the hardware settings, and your input is still going to be MGXU, and the output, be careful of this. When you have your output and you go back and you replay this, it is going to blow out your ear. So you want to make sure that before you play anything, you unplug here, okay, because it's going to blow your ears out. All right, so you want to unplug here before you end or after you end your recording, okay? So let's just jump into Skype and I'll show you exactly what you can do here. Okay, now that we're back into our computer, we want to go ahead and do a couple things right now. What we want to do is we want to make sure we have our recording software open and that the preferences, we're going to just double check to make sure that the preferences are set up, that our hardware is set up right. Okay, so our default input is going to be the board, and then our output is going to be the computer. Okay, it's always got to be the output, the built-in output, because we are plugged in to the computer from the board, basically like you're plugging in a pair of headphones, but it's actually feeding that audio back into the board, okay? So we go ahead and we click on that. Then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and start our recording first. So we'll start a brand new recording. Okay, so we've created a whole new file. You can see that there's audio going through it right now. And then you want to open up Skype, okay? So you open up Skype, and you can do this with a Skype phone call. You can do it with a Skype, just a regular Skype call. But I use the Skype call test service to make sure that everything is coming over. Now, when I click call, you're going to hear her voice come over, and she should be able to hear me actually come over as well, because everything is, I'm being fed into the computer, into the Mac computer. All right, so you can actually talk over the other person. There's no like trick to this, okay? So we're going to go ahead and click call.
Hello, welcome to Skype call testing
you can see
service.
Me talking over her.
After the beep, please record a message. Afterwards,
okay,
your message will be played back to you.
Do a quick test. Quick test, 1 2 check, 1 2 test. Quick test, 1 2 check, 1 2 test. Okay, so as you can see right there, in this portion right here, you can see it's only coming out of the left channel. All right. Now, here's a little hack that you can use inside of Adobe Audition is that if your phone call is only coming out of the left channel and you only have that ability to have one wire, you can definitely go ahead and select that right there. And then on your keyboard, press up, copy. You're going to want to copy, and then come back down and press paste. All right, or Control V, you can do it. All right, now you can record this in mono as well, and you would get the same sound. It would just, but what's going to happen is that you're only going to hear it out of one ear. So you want to make sure that this is coming out of both ears. Quick test. See how it's coming out of one? Now we can make it come out of two. Quick test, 1 2 check, 1 2 test. And you're pretty much set, and that's how you set it up. It's pretty simple. You just got to know the right configuration in order to get this all set up. So I hope that what I've shown you today has helped you out and will now allow you to kind of expand your game in terms of podcasting. If you have any questions, do me a favor, leave them in the comments down below. And of course, leave a thumbs up for this video if you like it, if it's been helpful for you, and share it out with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I have more tips like this coming out. Not all the time will I be sharing out technical tips, but I'm trying to give the best technical tips I can to get you started with podcasting, okay? So again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.